everybody. So I'm Cliff Moon, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Opsee. And so at Opsee, we're building effortless monitoring of your AWS environment for product-focused teams. And so what I'd kind of like to do here for the presentation is I'd like to walk you through sort of a typical scenario for our for like one of our like an ideal customer for us, and kind of show how Opsee helps our customers get through their job and get their job done. So imagine for a moment that I'm the first employee of a hot new startup called Instapug, and we do instant pug rentals by the hour, and so I just got out of a hacker school, and I built us this big fancy bespoke mobile backend with lots of hipster languages and microservices, and I've deployed it all into AWS, right? And so we've launched, and all of this stuff is running in AWS, and everything's fine, right? Until a few weeks after launch, a famous tech pundit who just loves pugs, he finds out about Instapug, and he features us in his newsletter, although he forgets to tell us about it. So our traffic goes through the roof, and we're caught completely unaware and completely unprepared. And the hipster microservices, they're not doing so well anymore. In fact, our first clue that there actually is even a problem is, of course, our Twitter feed. And it's all just angry tweets, people wanting to use the service and not being able to, and getting 503s. So I go ahead and fix the app, which basically means restarting everything, right? So I restart things until it starts working again. And now my job as the first employee is to set up monitoring, because I need to keep restarting the services as they crash, and hopefully someday we can dig ourselves out of this tech debt hole and scale this thing, right? When I go out and investigate monitoring solutions, this is what I find. So monitoring is hard still. It's very hard to set up. Most products require agents. Products require config management to use. So I've got to use Chef or Ansible or God knows what else to get this thing even running. And most of them have extremely complicated and visually complex interfaces that honestly I don't know how to use. And every single product in the category, it just turns out to be a wall of charts. So no one really is making monitoring simple, easy to use, and accessible for people that don't want to do this as their primary job, until now. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Opsee. So what Opsee does, it allows you to easily create health checks for all of your services. Our integration into AWS allows us to discover all the things that are running in your environment. So all of your instances, all of your security groups, your ELBs, your relational databases, everything, and tells you where they're running and tells you where they are. And we can automatically apply health checks to new instances as they come and go from these groups. And so we can support auto scaling. We can support the dynamic nature of AWS. Even better, we do all this without requiring you to install anything on your systems. So no need to pipe curl to sudo sh. No need to install someone's weird Debian package from an untrusted repo. Opsee's Bastion software gets launched onto its own VM in your environment. And the best way to think about it is what we deploy into your environment, think about it like a remote control. Runs on its own instance, keeps an eye on all of your services, and it notifies you when they fail. And it even does more, and we will show you that in just a moment. Okay, and so the Opsee install is meant to be as painless and quick as possible. So we're running our stuff in US West 1, and basically what I want to do here is I want to tell Opsee, hey, where is all my stuff running, which region? And then all Opsee needs after that is your AWS keys. So I do not want to type out my AWS keys, so I've loaded them into LastPass. There we go. So I put in my AWS keys, and Opsee will take care of the rest from here. And so what's happening right now is Opsee is automating a CloudFormation template, and it is creating all the things that the Bastion needs in order to do its job. And once the Bastion comes up, it'll start the discovery process, and discovery is really meant to preload a bunch of stuff for you, so you're not trying to create these health checks and do monitoring in the dark. And looks like our Bastion's up. So I'm going to create a check, and I'm going to create a check. So here in this group dropdown, I can pick which group I want to use. I want to create a check against US West 1 right now. So the cool thing about this is that, as you notice, I'm not picking an instance, I'm not picking out an IP address. This is a dynamic group. So as things come and go from the cluster, it automatically resolves them, and I don't need to do any maintenance after I set this. I want it to run on port 8080. I want it to be a get, and the path is health check. And I can put in request headers, all that stuff. And the cool thing here is that, and one of the traditional problems with monitoring products is that how do you know it's actually going to work? With Opsee, the way you know that it's working is that we actually run the check right here while you're setting it up. So we run the check, the response comes back from the service, you get the response loaded in down here, and then I can set assertions against it, right? So this is a very simple check. I just want to make sure that the status code is 200. So I can pop that into here, and then the assertions run in the browser, so you know, they run in the browser here, they also run in the back end, but so you know that it's actually going to work when it comes down to game time, right? And so I can add all sorts of other assertions, but all we want to do is assert that it's 200, and now I can just give it a name and say, you know, give my check a name, and then I can set up notifications, right? So I can set up an email notification, set up Slack notifications, all that sort of thing. And then boom, I've saved off my check. Great. Now for demo purposes, I'm going to break something, as one does. And, sorry, environment. There we go. There we go. Now let's break a thing. Perfect. Okay, so let's just assume that it's a couple hours later, and we're still getting hit with tons of traffic, and then one of our servers falls over. Either Amazon has a problem, we run out of memory, stuff happens, right? So what do we do from here? Traditionally in monitoring products, what you do is you'd go through, maybe an hour of SSH to figure out what the heck is going on. But hey, we're in AWS. We treat our servers like cattle, right? Shoot it in the head. So I can restart this guy right from the product, as long as you give us permission to do so. And as it's restarting, you'll be getting constant feedback about, hey, here's all the checks that are still passing. This guy's restarting, and once it's restarted, which it will in a few seconds, there we go. And then it's passing its checks again. And that's really the essence of what Opsee is. And so we not only tell you that there is a problem, but we help you fix it as well. And that's us. So if you like what you see, come to our website and sign up. Private beta starting in the next few weeks. And for people who are in AWS, for people who want to have just simple monitoring that helps them fix the problem, they might be a good fit for us. So sign up on the website and become part of our private beta. And that's Opsee. Thanks.